What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome to the OutSpoken Network. Say what you mean what you say. As always, I am Cordell.
Marqus.
Rob.
I'm Deuce.
And before we get into socials and the topic of the day, news just broke. Just broke. Which is why this man is just all over his phone right now. That the Falcons have traded with the Patriots for Matthew Judon, giving up, as of right now, what we're hearing is a third-round pick and a whole bunch of money most likely to come with it. With that being said, what does that mean for the Falcons? What does that mean for the NFC South? You go ahead.
Yeah.
You looking at me?
So
let him gather himself.
I think for the NFC South, I don't really think it changes a whole lot. I think that we were the front runners in that division, so I think it just kind of heightens that, and I think it just puts more pressure on the Buccaneers. I think they're the second best team in said division, but I think us just being able to get to the quarterback with also having just the back end that we have with Jesse Bates at safety and AJ Terrell at corner, I think it just helps them out, and us having, you know, the injury to Braylon Trice, our third-round pick last draft. Yeah, I just think it's a great pick. I think it puts us in a better pole position in the NFC South, but I also think that for the NFC, maybe it just puts us on a little better tier to compete for maybe, you know, getting past the wild card, just because having that ability to pressure the quarterback just kind of helps the defense as a whole. So, you know, Judon is a 4-time Pro Bowler. I think we'll be all right.
So it raises your bar from division winner to one playoff win.
Yeah.
That's your bar for them.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So
y'all gonna be doing this live.
Is
Jones? Yeah, E-Rob gonna be hitting that jump. Yeah, start practicing. Get that arm loose. Get that arm. That good little sub. Good little Sally. Good little Sally. Go ahead, gather yourself. All you big dog. I'm gonna drink my Schweppes.
That's bad.
I better than Canada drivers.
Excuse me. It's been a while since we've seen a quality pass rusher in Atlanta. I'm a little emotional right now.
Was John Abraham the last one?
John Abraham was the last one.
Oh, okay.
Well, Big Breeze.
Ain't nobody care about that.
I'm just saying.
No. It was a flash in the pan. He ain't done nothing since.
Yeah, he didn't. But I'm just saying, he gave us a little flash.
I just want to say, Terry Fontenot,
You did your job.
shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. God doggone it, man. We got a pass rusher now. I'm good. I'm good. Yo, you guys can.
great. So I want to point this out, being completely objective here.
What that's supposed to mean?
He is the age of 31.
Hey, hey.
Okay. And what we are talking about is an aging pass rusher who has only had double-digit sacks twice in his.
Oh, this is what you're doing. This is what you're doing.
Is at the age of 29, 30.
This is what you're doing.
Last year, he's coming off of a year where he only had 4 sacks.
This is what you're doing. Okay.
Yep.
So
just because Von Miller spurned you and your team, okay, you ain't got to sit here and just pour salt on my pass rusher.
Got Von Miller.
That's what's up.
Right. He didn't get
you're right.
Hall of Fame type of edge rusher.
Right. Because y'all didn't get that Hall of Fame.
That's what we traded for. You didn't trade for a Hall of Fame edge rusher. Well, you traded for a guy who's only had 2 double-digit sack seasons.
Yeah.
Right? And he's only had 4 sacks last year. So should there be, what I'm saying is, should there be some concern?
I mean,
honestly, objectively.
Yeah, you could say that there could be some concern, but I think that
there's always one.
I think the positive in this is the fact that, you know, him starting off his career with the Ravens, I think he just didn't have the sack numbers because there were just so many guys on that defensive front that were able to get to the quarterback, to where he just didn't have those same kind of numbers because he was more of a rotational guy with the Ravens, if I remember. And then with the Patriots is where he really got his run as the guy.
Years, yeah.
Yes. So I think, you know, last year, I just want to say that Patriots just as a team weren't good, and I think them being able to probably.
You know what? Let me take it back.
He did get injured, right?
He did.
Yeah.
I just looked over here to see how.
Oh, you didn't say you played 4 games?
Yeah, I just came up in my brain.
Okay.
I looked at how many games he started in. So he only started in 4. So the question is, so he did get injured. So now instead we're talking about an aging pass rusher coming off of injury. And you know, their body's not going to heal right. So shouldn't there be some concern
No.
with an aging pass rusher coming off of injury?
That is kind of crazy because he boo-boos on Bobby Wagner aging and there's no injury there.
He was on Bob Miller, an aging pass rusher coming
Bobby
off
Miller. How old is Bobby Wagner?
33? No injury though.
Look,
I don't.
there can be some
Where's
concern, but I think that he's going to come in as our best pass rusher. And I think that anytime you get somebody that's just better than the guys that you already got, because we really ain't got a whole lot, it just adds a little fire to the defense.
There's always a hater.
So I like, I understand the concern, but let's just say if he gave us 8 sacks for the season, I'd be okay with that.
Child.
It's better than anything we had.
Mm-hmm.
So
Who's y'all sack leader this year?
It was Ebiketie.
yeah. Great Jared got injured.
Actually, no, it was Calais and Bud Dupree tied for 6.5.
Didn't Calais? Oh no, Calais was there.
He was there the whole year.
So yeah, if we get 8, man. I'm good with that.
Yeah, but
it just adds into what Grady Jarrett can do, what Ebiketie can do, and then
David Onyemata.
Well, whatever anybody else.
Come on now.
I mean, I think if Braylon Trice also, if he's getting,
he's out for the season.
He's out for the year.
Season.
Yeah.
Oh,
Towards ACL.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's why I said like
you did say. I heard he was out. I know he's out for the year.
Yeah.
That's my bad. Okay. Never mind.
So we needed somebody.
Yeah, but
Okay. I feel like for the Falcons,
haters gonna hate. Look, haters gonna hate. Haters gonna hate.
For us, because we didn't really.
Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe if it was, I even think if it was another team, it would be good, just because
absolutely,
even if he wasn't the guy, he would just be a good depth piece that can still get after the quarterback on just pass rush, down. So
I feel like the way that y'all's team is built, for one, this helps a lot for Kirk, because more pressure. I think y'all gonna give Bijan the ball more, so there's not gonna be that much not as much pressure put on Kirk as there normally is. He doesn't have the greatest of track record in big games, in playoff games, right? So being able to apply pressure at your defense and be able to put the ball in other people's hands, Bijan. You got Kyle Pitts, he trying to get the ball to him, a little, you know what I'm saying? You got Drake, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I feel like this, in terms of y'all's confidence going into
for sure
the season, everything, y'all absolutely should feel good about it.
And for a 3rd round pick, I'm like, I'll take that.
Y'all should feel good.
Who we used for the 3rd round this year, they out. So
it's really is y'all secondary? Y'all confident in y'all secondary to hold up? That's really the
with Jesse Bates.
I like the back end. Yeah, I don't know about.
No, they're still in. They had Justin Simmons was in Flowery Branch the last 2 days for a free agent visit as well. So there's still a possibility that they can try to bring him in as well.
So my next question for you guys is: are you extending?
Extending who?
Matthew Judon.
Of course, this trade is not being made without that.
How much y'all paying him?
I think it gets a smooth 15.
Probably so.
For how long?
Probably like 2 years. 2 years, 15.
Like 20 guaranteed.
3 at the most. 3 years at the most. But that 3rd year could be. But the 3rd could be a void. It could be a void year. They still may give him a 3-year deal with a solid 2-year guarantee.
But we'll see.
It's similar to you giving Kirk 4 years, but it's only 2 of the years are guaranteed. So I think they may do the same thing with Judon. They may give him 3 years, but honestly, he may just be there for 2.
So we'll see, but not mad at it. Not mad at the move.
So 2 more.
Yeah, so it's like this year with a 2-year extension. Yeah.
What the Patriots? I don't think this rebuild is
absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's just weird to see. We've been so accustomed to a certain standard.
Well, should it be a concern that Matthew Judon wanted out?
That maybe
I don't think he really wanted out.
Did he not?
He did. Was it because of money?
He wanted because of money. It wasn't because of money. I don't think he really wanted to leave New England. He wanted to stay there as long as they were going to properly pay him. But
because he was getting paid less than 15 on last year.
I think
it's 6.5.
Yeah, which is crazy. Yeah, he was, but I mean,
get it, because the Patriots are like, we don't want to put any more long-term
resources into older players. I get it. Right now, I mean, if you want to look at it, their best player defensively is probably who? Christian Gonzalez?
Yeah, definitely Christian Gonzalez.
I mean, you're leaning on a guy like Josh Uche to take a certain step this year. And then you draft them to Deion. Well, actually, I don't know. Well, Duggar's back there as well, but could we throw Christian Barmore in this equation as well? It's probably their best player, best defensive.
Honestly, I think it's Gonzalez.
It's fair to say Gonzalez is their most talented player on defense for sure.
Y'all just named all the players I know on it.
Yeah, that's all I got. It's a team that's starting over, and I do agree that it does feel weird to see this because this is a team for 20 years that were just perennial Super Bowl contenders just about every damn year out of those 20 years. And to see them really tear this whole thing down and start from scratch is something unique. I didn't expect.
But I feel like every franchise goes through that when they have. No.
Every franchise does reach a certain point where it's like we got to tear the house down.
Yes, they do.
Everybody does.
This isn't just tearing the house down. This is tearing the house down and being bad.
The Cowboys were
the difference. It's the same.
The 49ers were that way.
For example, the Packers, right? They got rid of their quarterback, but they already had Rodgers lined up, right? Rodgers leaves, they have Love lined up. But are they start?
They're the only franchise.
You got another one?
They're the only franchise. Got
another example?
There are no other ones.
I don't think that the Steelers really started over.
Yes, they did.
This.
Yes, they did.
No.
Like this?
Before they got Big Ben. They were losing team. That's why they were in the. That's why they were. They drafted
20 years.
They drafted 11th. They drafted 11th to get Big Ben. They were bad. They were not a good team the year prior. They had Tommy Maddox as their starting quarterback the year before. They were not good. They were not good.
I mean, you can say 11. It's like it's not great, but it's not terrible. But yeah, they were still not good.
Are they still? I'm used to teams getting in limbo when they lose their guy, but this was
you've named two teams out of 32.
1 second, please.
Like everybody else.
We saw the Cowboys happen to the Cowboys. We saw it happen to the Niners.
The Chiefs.
I don't think the Eagles did this either. Going from McNabb to what's his name?
Mike Vick.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
You forgot about. I mean,
that's
terrible.
I think they won like 5 or 6 games.
Do you also forget that they drafted Carson Wentz second overall? You have to be bad in order to draft a quarterback second overall.
No, I think didn't they trade up to get him?
No.
I don't recall.
They took Wentz second overall. They were not good.
I don't recall them trading.
They traded.
I don't remember them trading up.
No, the Niners were terrible. And the end of
that's why the Niners were
the end of Chip Kelly days. Remember when Jim Tom Zula was their head coach? They went 2-14 in 2016. They were also awful. Like it happens for most of you. Name 2 teams out of it that somehow
most consistent.
Yeah, but everybody else literally goes through this.
Yeah, some of the most.
No, the Eagles trade up to get Carson Wentz.
What were they the year before that?
They weren't great. They were the number 8 pick. Sorry,
they were bad.
They were number 2.
They were bad.
Let's look.
They were bad.
Oh,
pick 8.
They weren't. They had to have 7 wins or less in theory.
Is that not enough to start off?
Horrible.
7-9. That's not horrible.
No, that's not horrible.
So in order to be rebuilt, you have to what?
You can rebuild, but this is weird because they actually went from being the top of the food chain to being the worst.
So,
but they don't drop all the way back to like how the
Eagles went 4-12 in 2012 after Mike Vick, and they went 4-12. They were last in the division.
Okay,
and
that doesn't count. That counts. That counts.
And then they went 4-11 in 2020. So they had 2 years where they were just like downright horrible. The other years are just kind of like they were like you said, in limbo.
Yes.
But those 2 years they were terrible.
The Chiefs went 2-14 before they got Mahomes.
Yes, they were. That was when Brody Croyle was their starting quarterback, and I believe
before they got Alex Smith.
Before they got Alex Smith, yeah. It was Brody Croyle, and I think that was that Herms last year, or was no, that was Cornell. Romeo Cornell was there. Yeah.
Even they've had times where it's like
absolutely
for John Harbaugh.
Yes, they did. Yeah, they had a particular year where they went like they won like 5 or 6 games or something like that.
Joe Flacco was a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no way.
He was 18.
In 2015,
2015, they went 5-11. 2007,
2007,
they went 5-11.
I'm like, they were
This-
bad. Now, granted, like the difference you could say is like those teams didn't stay there for long. Like,
Right.
it was literally just
Right.
one season of being terrible.
Patriots have been like
and
this
then
since 2000.
Right.
The thing
There's
also
just
is also
No. It's
intentional.
different.
No, but it's been okay. So they've
Like
been
this-
on this downward trajectory since 20.
But this is their first season of being, like you said, terrible. They've been in limbo.
Yes,
That's what I'm saying.
yes. But so just looking at the ladder, it was literally like the trajectory just kept getting worse to the point where it's like we've hit rock.
but the one thing
What I'm saying is these teams have hit rock bottom, but then they didn't stay there. So we'll see if the Patriots actually stay there or not.
Right.
But
I'm willing.
the other teams have been in limbo now.
I'm willing to say.
teams were like this, and then they went.
I'm willing to say that there are maybe a handful of I'm willing to say that there are a handful of organizations within the league that even if they're bad, they have a distinct way of not staying bad for a long period of time. And yes, you can throw the Steelers in that conversation, you can throw the Packers in that conversation, but
You can throw the Eagles in that.
Yeah,
you can throw the Eagles in there too. But it's not as if none of these teams experience bad play at it. Like everybody goes through it. It's just certain organizations have mastered the ability to say, you know what, we ain't gonna be like this forever.
I think it's just intent. Like when you're trading away players and embracing being bad. I think that's the difference that we're talking.
Which is new because we haven't seen that from the Patriots in 20 years.
That's what we're talking about. I mean, everybody, like y'all are saying, you're right. Every team is going to be bad at some point, but it's really there are certain teams that trade away pieces. Like last year, we traded away Tez, we traded away Chase Young, right? Like we were embracing being bad. That was something that not a lot of franchises, I feel like, do.
Well,
that's the difference for me.
But the
between
thing
bad
about it, the guys that they're trading away are guys that are older. They just don't want on their books. But we know they're going to have salary cap.
Which I was.
So, like, salary-wise, they're going to be okay to get free agents.
I ain't gonna go.
I just think that right now they're just like, let's not tire ourselves at anybody that's old so we can revamp the team with younger, better guys for the future. I get the premise of it. The only thing with Judon, obviously, is like he's a leader in the locker room. But at the same time, if they feel confident enough in their head coach to be like, hey, like, he's going to get us through this at some point, like, then that's just the way that they go.
Y'all winning 12 games this year?
No.
You wrong?
12? No. 10, yes.
10, yeah, 10. Shit, I had us winning 10 before, so.
Yep.
Didn't change much.
No, didn't change much. We're going to just win 11 at best, but that's on a really high.
Cordell, where the Falcons going this year?
To the playoffs.
How far?
To the playoffs.
Okay.
Playoffs. I mean, I got to go into the wild card, but I just saying, like, the best case scenario is we win a playoff game, but we're just wild card.
I got to see how the season goes, but right now I just haven't get it.
Yeah.
I see y'all win the playoff game.
Depends on who it is.
They do.
Yeah, that's always
That's why I said I have to see
like,
how things unfold. But right now I just haven't.
If you thinking about it division wise, the Niners win their division. Do you think the Niners win the division? Niners win the division.
Okay.
Yes.
The Eagles win the division.
Yes, Niners will
Yeah.
win. Niners will
We all
win.
win the division, and the NFC South, NFC East, NFC West. No, what I missed? North. Lions. Y'all wouldn't play them. Y'all play the second place of those.
No.
Or you play
They're
them.
winning the
No,
division.
we
They're
win
playing
the-
one of the 3 wild cards.
That's what I'm saying. He said the second place.
You're talking about if you go. You're talking about if you get
I'm talking about
wins.
the wild
That's what I'm saying. He's talking about He's talking about we would.
Divisional round.
He's talking about we would play the wild card. He's saying we would play the second place team of another division.
I was trying to go through who.
Oh, the second place team of another
You feel
division.
me?
Yes.
That was confusing me.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
So it could be one of the NFC North teams if the Packers or Bears make the playoffs. It could be the Cowboys if they make the playoffs.
Yeah.
It could be.
It could be.
Y'all sleep on the Commanders, but y'all not ready for that conversation yet.
Hey, I said y'all go
No, you're right. I'm snoring on the Commanders. Okay.
It should be.
Okay.
Don't worry.
It could be Rams. It
Rams
could
is another good
It
one.
could be Packers.
I definitely.
It could be Bears.
My
Could be
money.
Seahawks.
It could be Seahawks.
My money is on.
That's bad.
I don't think this is going to be.
Okay.
I don't think this is. I don't think this is going to be a good year in Dallas. I think there may be some disappointment in Dallas.
Like no playoffs?
Like no
I would
playoffs.
say.
I do.
So
Sorry.
Till next time, I am Cordell.
Marcus.
Happy E-Rob.
I was excited to do it on the Cowboys. Deuce.
Be easy, be breezy, and please take it easy.